Hello everyone, and welcome to the fourth race in the Grand Prix Classics Championship Series. Here today, joined by up to at least 14 drivers today. We're expecting a couple more. That's how many we have. We are in Canada for on an old layout. Do not be confused. Let me quickly see if I can show you the difference. Well, you can see it on the map already, but if we look at Michael, like on the straights until here, it's like, yeah, it's somewhat the same. There's a bit of a chicane here, still completely flat out. Does make it harder to go side by side here. And yeah, this is as it is. It's a little bit more raw, not as much tech pro barriers or whatever as nowadays. Yeah, otherwise, largely the same circuit as we know. And depending on who you ask, love. Alright. Welcome everyone. Let's quickly go through the regular things. We'll, of course, first talk about the calendar. Today being the fourth race in 8. Last week we had the previous one in Germany, now in Canada. And in a couple of weeks' time we'll be in Belgium at Spa. And 4 races in, 3 done, 5 to go. Where are we in terms of the standings? Well, I have it here for you. Dikra is still the leader. He was undefeated until last race, where controversially he was taken out, which Domska accepts, fault, but no penalty was given in the end. I think because both of them decided, we don't want to swing with penalties, and in the end, Domska lost more than Dikra. So, yeah, it is what it is. Marcus VR is now tied with Domska in terms of points, but he is ahead because of count back, I think you call that. Randa's very close behind, so the 5-2 is very much on, and for first, well, maybe, we'll talk about that. Geralt and Dustin are, in a bit of a space of their own. In 5th and 6th, and then behind that we got Michael, Kafalo, who's not with us today, Gomestos, Silver, JJ, and Sorrow, who is back again this week. Further behind we have Notabene, Daniel Gilligan, Apex, all here today, very good. Then we have Das with the last person with points, and then a couple of names without points. Among whom one of me, who I hope joins in a bit. We could talk about him as well. I do note, I think somebody joined, and the question is who. Really quickly looking to compare my lists to try and figure it out. But no luck yet. Alright. Team standings, of course, do want to have a look at that. Ferrari still ahead. Still on 80 points, of course. Biggest contributor, Dikra there, championship leader. Followed by the Red Bull team. Followed by the 40 Grand Prix team. And then the Benetton team, close fight there. Williams not far off either. They have Minardi, McLaren, Tyrrell, Jordan, where every point counts. So they will be fighting for that as well. But as you can see, like we have 5 clear top teams that are hoarding most of the points, so it's gonna be all about picking up the scraps in the back. Ligier and Lotus haven't scored any points yet. Maybe today's an opportunity. Well, one way to find out. Let's quickly go through the drivers that we have so far, as I quickly try to figure out who joined without me noticing. But I feel like we're just gonna have to find out as we go. Let's start with the winner of last race. And somebody I've been hyping up for a little while. I've said a couple of times that we are just waiting for Marcus to just win. It's going to happen. Nobody knows when. But it did happen. And he wasn't happy with it. Isn't that crazy? He finally won. I was not happy with it. Why was he not happy with it? Well, of course, he won in a way he didn't want to win. a lot of people will be like, okay, win is a win, you got your points, great. Some of these people sign up for a championship and don't even look at the points. They just like to, you know, do their races, do the best they can, and then yeah, that's it for them. Unfortunately for Marcus, last time he was gifted the win in a way he wasn't very pleased with. He thought, you know, if earlier things didn't happen, I could have had it legitimately and would have been better. Another chance today to make it better, make it a second win, and this time one on pure pace. We know he can do that. If technical gremlins stay away from his VR headset, he will be capable. So let's see if he can. Let's see if he can. Next, I want to look at where is he? Championship leader Dikra. Last race taken out by his old rival, old friend, and current championship rival as well, depending on how you look at the points. Dikra is still ahead. He is still fast. Still going to be hard to beat. But, you know, there is reason to doubt. He's been very good, very consistent, but not always the fastest. And with so many other drivers also being fast, you know, if this is a lesser track for him, he's going to lose points, and it can go quickly. Instead of finishing first, he might finish fourth. That's a big point loss. He's gonna want to limit the damage today if he is not on pace. But there's every chance that he is on pace today. There's no problem. Next, I want to talk about Domska. He is in the pits, but he's driving out, so great timing there. And I quickly want to check here. The pit exit is also much different than modern. Normally, you rejoin after this corner, but now you rejoin in turn one. I can see why they changed that, because there's very little time to react to someone coming out of the pits in this case. So yeah, that's why they changed it in real life. So, should be interesting. Domska, of course, took out Dikra last race. It cost him quite a lot of points himself. He lost P2 as a result. It's not really in terms of points, right? It will probably be decided by points by the end of the season. But for now, he's lost P2. And the fact that he is tied on points with someone else is bad enough. And it's Marcus, who is very quick, very good on pace. That's a problem for Domska. He's going to have to step it up. And then Randers is kind of a dark horse in this race. Randers currently P4 on 48 points, but that is 2 points behind Domska. Same amount of points behind Marcus. He's got those points through consistency. That's sometimes all you need. That's nothing to sneeze at all. And if he keeps doing that, well, he might crawl towards Dikra if Dikra finishes behind him. If he wins the race, well, he will definitely catch up quite a bit. Randers is not out of the championship in any way. That should provide, well, for interesting scenarios in the future, maybe. And we also saw last time, he felt like he could have won the race. He was also not happy with a P2. Because he felt like, you know, if I just drove a little bit better, then P1 was on the cards. It's not a bit of better strategy or whatever. Then, yeah. Hindsight, of course, easy to say. Yeah, you gotta make it happen on track. And Randers is very capable. But the strong competition. Kind of needs to show it. Let's see if he can do that today. Dustin, then, he loves this track. Of course, organizer of this league. Races himself as well. And I think he does karting in real life, so... Very capable driver. Not as big of a fan of the latest few updates of AMS. Not as fast as he used to be. Kind of in clear 6th or 5th. Trading that with his teammate Geralt, who's also coming out of the pits. Kind of same story. Also used to be a race winner. Regular race winner. He almost won a championship. But this season doesn't look to be on the pace. Definitely drivers you can never count out for a race win. But I will say that a championship win is unlikely. Geralt is has 32 points and is, I think, 36 points behind the leader. That's a bit too big of a gap. So maybe that's too far. We'll see. Michael, teammate of Marcus. It's been very strong, challenging Cavalier for most of the season, but Cavalier isn't racing today, so good for him. Good for Michael, that is. Not for Cavalier, fortunately, he doesn't have to miss it. And hopefully he'll be able to fight back next race then. Cavalier is only 1 point behind, but every point that Michael now gains, he walks away a little bit. Gets a really good result a lot. But as I said, once you get out of the top 6 drivers, it is kind of fighting for scraps. But Michael's been very good at that. Best of the rest very often in this season and previous seasons, so there are expectations, and he's weaving for the camera. Very nice. But he does have extra competition though, because while Cavalier is not here, Gomestos, who's currently in the pits, Gomestos is a fairly new driver, and I did not know what to expect from him, but it seems like he is around the pace of Michael, maybe even a bit quicker. Consistency is a little bit lacking maybe, but yeah, opportunity for him, and if he improves, well, that's problems for Michael. Gomestos is currently 2 points behind Michael. If he finishes ahead of Michael today, he could tie or get ahead. Definitely something he will want to fight for. We also mark the return of Sorrow. He was absent last race. He is back now. And, well, what to expect of Sorrow? Well, Sorrow is very up and down. It's very much a momentum-based race. If he has a good start, and he has no issues for the next 5 to 10 laps, he will have a good race. If he starts making mistakes, if things don't go his way, he starts making more mistakes. And as a result, the results aren't quite there. This season, they haven't been quite there either yet. Opportunity for some better points today. See if we can rein them in. Silver is teammate of Randers in the Williams team. Silver is sometimes quite hard to place. He feels like he lacks the pace a bit compared to, well, the people I've already mentioned. But he can be super consistent, and he can absolutely pick up points where you wouldn't think there are any for him. He still manages it, and that's sometimes all that matters in the championship. So see what he can pull today. We have JJ and his teammate Apex, so we'll go through these quickly. In the Minardi team, right around equal, right around the same. A little bit behind the drivers already mentioned, kind of going from top of the field to the bottom of the field. Yeah, trying to pick up scraps. Fairly successful at it so far. They have 8 points combined, which for a backmarker team is super strong. So well done to them so far. See if they can pick up more points today. 12th and 11th is already 3 more points. He gets into double digits, so that will be the goal. Then we have Nota Bene. Nota Bene also on 3 points. We'll want to add more to that. I don't know how he is on this track, but often I think doesn't quite have the consistency. He's driving a fairly difficult car, the McLaren car. From what I remember, it's slightly more difficult to drive. The pace difference isn't significant. You know, there is a difference. So that might affect him a little bit as well. Then we have Ditto. Ditto, of course, famous for the recently released video game Procopia, being the main character. But it's not that kind of Ditto. Although, you know, you never know. Ditto has no points yet. But I think he's able to get them today. It's gonna be a bit tricky, maybe? As long as he stays alive, there's every opportunity. Other drivers will make mistakes. There might be crashes. Just like we expected from today's real race, but didn't actually happen. Well, not really. Then we have Jetlin, who's currently in the pits. Last driver on the grid. in the Ligier car, which is really a McLaren but reskinned. Generally, again, no points yet, but I can also feel that today's an opportunity to try and get one. So, we'll see what comes out. I do see some former drivers in the chat, or people that couldn't join for today's race. Hope you're all happy to join, and we are starting an ad. Ooh, slight mistake by me from the streamer. I forgot to run ads during the what do you call it? The countdown. I was eating, so that will be as it is. I will still run them after qualifying, and hopefully we'll not have them during the race. That's the main objective, to try and avoid that. I can't guarantee it, unfortunately. Tomska has a big tank slapper there. Controls us very well. And keep going, no problem. Well, it seems like the ad server is struggling a bit. This ad starting soon. It's just kind of stuck there. Well, if it's stuck there the entire stream, there's no problem. Let's go. Randa's currently top of the timing sheets. Of course, practice means nothing. That's why I've been ignoring the times the whole time. Marcus in P2 though, Domska in P3, Gerald in P4. The top 3 is fairly close in time, so I do feel like they did go for a run. I don't know how much fuel they had for that run. I don't know if they were fully pushing. So it's still a bit of an unknown. Let's see if Domska massively improves. No, he does not. Well, a little bit improvement, but not massively. And that's it for practice. So, hello YouTube, you do not have to suffer my mistakes occasionally. And we go straight into qualifying. Who is driving out first? So it's Marcus. Marcus is out first. We'll be following the previous race winner, one-time race winner in the SSR Prix Classics Championship Series. With, I'm sure, more to come. Mercury in the chat, of course, joined us in the previous season. He's hoping to be back next season. I do really hope so too. It's a category of a developing driver, I would say, in the sense that there is more to gain, more pace to gain, more positions. That's, I think, the most exciting part of being on a racing sim. It's like one thing to be at a pace and stuck there forever. But it's much nicer to be a little bit slower and see yourself improve over time. And have it like a race where you suddenly finish 5th on pace. And you don't, like, with the crashes, and you check and it's like, oh, there's not actually any crashes. You're just fast. It's like, oh, huh. It's the best feeling in the world. Another good feeling in the world is to drive through the Canadian Grand Prix track. After starting a lap. It starts at the Wall of Champions. Turn 1 is flat, turn 2 is called calculated, precise. Go for a good exit on turn 3, that's the most important thing. Line up on the left. You have to quickly be on the brake for a chicane, right and then left, downhill. Can catch you out if you're not aware. Through here, essentially flat out and brake on the 50. These corners are very hard, but the main goal, again, get a good exit out of here. And this is a fairly long straight. Overtaking opportunities are here. Even if the next corner is very tricky to go side by side through. Brake under the bridge. Hit that apex. Be very cautious from Marcus there for a banker. Try to get a good exit here again. And then here into the hairpin. You just want a good run through and a solid exit, not too much wheel spin. That's what you're aiming for. Through here. There's a bit of a right-hander. It's hard to go side by side here because of the corners. That part specifically. Brake for the final chicane. Past the Wall of Champions. Do not touch it. Get a good exit. Stay on the right side for optimal time. Marcus crossed the line, 1:17.9. That's around the fastest time we saw in the previous session, in the practice session. Gerald Schmidt has improved his time, and so has Domska. Let's try to anticipate somebody. Oh, well, Randers is... Oh, Randers is going across the line in the moment. Has a chance to challenge Marcus. What is he going to do? Well, he's going to start his lap, actually. He wasn't on a lap at all. But we'll follow him this time. The third turn, you can see, trying to carry as much speed. And there's a lot of wheel spin there, that smoke. That is a mistake. It's going to cost you 1 because you didn't get optimal acceleration. Oh, and it goes over the curb. You see how high those curbs are. That does mean they're a little bit more deadly than normal. Marcus still on pole position, ahead of Domska and Dikra. 2 great challenges for the championship are being put on a 1.8 tenths of a second gap. That is pretty, I wouldn't say monstrous, but that's significant. That's something Domska has to work for. Smith is a bit behind Sorrow, 1 second behind Marcus. And Michael is behind that. So Sorrow is kind of on his own, as it seems, to the pace of right now for qualifying. Dustin hasn't really set a representative lap, I think. But he does really love this track, so he's gonna want more from himself. He's gonna really fight for it. He also has some technical gremlins with his VR headset. Hopefully those don't haunt him too much today. I think he's setting up for a lap himself. Let's look at what Randers is doing. Coming out of the final hairpin. He's also setting up for another lap. And I believe that might be Gomestos behind him. Also setting up for a lap. There's nobody behind him, so it's completely fine to do it like that. In fact, that is very smart to do. He's playing it smart. Look at that. That is Randers ahead of him. Let me remind you, Randers is pretty fast. That's a good slipstream candidate. Let's drive behind him. Let's get some extra tenths on the straights. Very cleverly done. Will suffer a little bit from the dirty air. He's gambling that will be less of a problem than the benefits are on the straight. This is easily one of the toughest chicanes though. Trying to get a good exit out of here is a major challenge. It's just slightly wide there. It's not perfect, but it runs. Into the hairpin then, you do see Randers is right there, and now is where you really benefit from the slipstream. Even if there's an extra kind of chicane, which really just forces on one line, you don't suffer from the downforce loss because the car can handle it. It's still flat out easy. You see Onofmi has now joined. Onofmi, we'll mention him talk about him in a bit because it is something interesting to mention. Here we go, Gomestos goes across the line. P10 for him. Behind Michael, but the gap is very, very small. There's opportunity there. Silver, very good qualifying so far. P8, slightly behind Sorrow. Marcus still in first. Randers has now set a time. It is close, but it's not faster than Marcus. It is faster than Domska, who is faster than Dikra. Okay. Some might have said that they expected the opposite from the season. Dikra first, Domska second, Randers and Marcus third and fourth in, well, honestly, either order. Randers was a bit more of a proven factor going into the season. But it's undeniable that Marcus has pace. While he doesn't have the experience with this club, it's clear that he has experience elsewhere. He's putting that to very good use. Going for another lap then. And I do want to mention Onofmi. Last race we did see, I love this story, we did see Onofmi block the leaders going into the pits, which was very much a product of the blue flag being shown, him trying to go to the side of the road, really letting them by, and they're both deciding, yeah, I don't want to drive on the track, I want to go into the pits, and you're blocking it. So it cost them a little bit of time. They decided, you know what, don't punish it, not necessary. We lost like most of our time at the end anyway, so yeah, they just let it be. It was reported by Onofre himself. He felt so bad. I did mention that he would feel bad. He felt so bad. He's like, I'm just going to report it and accept the penalty. But yeah, it wasn't deep necessary. It was a very funny incident. A bit of a unfortunate coincidence. Marcus wasn't happy with a lap. He's going to go reset. He's going to wait for the drive button to appear because, it sometimes waits for a moment. But there he goes. He's got one more opportunity to try and improve. Randers has an opportunity to break his dreams. And Domschka, I assume Domschka is setting up for a lap. But he could already be on one. If he is setting up for a lap, he will be the first to finish. Almost. The driver ahead, I think, will also finish fairly early. Goes across the line. Is it an improvement? It is. And Domschka goes ahead. Oh, and look at that gap. That is a 3/10 gap. Marcus needs to work to try and close that and maybe try to overtake. But that's a tough one. Randers also has his work cut out for him. But Dikra is going to be 4th. Unless somebody beats him, it's not going to be better than 4th. Unless somebody leaves, but I hope not. Randers improves, but it's only 2nd place. And that's it for him as well. Marcus, well, we're going to have to look at Marcus then. As he's barreling towards the line. And let me remind you, that is not the finish lap, that's the starter's lap. He will have the best track conditions. He will have a very good opportunity to beat Domschka. But it's just not going to be easy. 3/10 to make up. Where are you going to find them? Well, show us. He starts his lap through turn 1. Breaks for turn 2. That looks a little bit wide already. I don't think that's going to be optimal. That's kind of what we're looking at this point. The timer has elapsed. Domschka, Randers and Dikra are not improving. Neither is Gerald. Dustin is a P6. I don't think that's going to change either. Sorrow in 7th, Silver in 8th. They'll be very happy to be ahead of Michael and Gomestos. Behind we have the Manali cars, both in the points. They'll be happy with that. Is a Jetland not to be in it behind that, and of me, I guess, gave himself. Oh, is he driving? No, he gave himself a non-qualifying session. We'll start from the back. Marcus has only one opportunity, and he's working on it. Going through the hairpin. Goes a little bit wide. Normally, it's not optimal for sure, but it's not as costly as you would think. As long as you still have the pace, as long as you turn in well, it's not the worst thing in the world. Through here though, there's no slipstream to help him. There's nothing, just the best track conditions that anyone could ask for, but nothing else. And I feel like it's just not going to be enough from what I saw. Marcus, are you going to improve? It's not an improvement at all. Marcus is going to be 3rd, Randers going to be 2nd, and Domschka has pole position. We're quickly going to run a whole ad, and then we'll be back. For YouTube, we'll continue commentating as the last people finish their runs. And it's going to be Domschka, Randers, Marcus, and Dikra, and then I have to, like the wind, update everything else. Yeah. Got Sorrow, then Silver. Silver, a big surprise, I would say. Oh, and Michael, look at Michael, P5. Hello, that's a surprise. Well done. Good job, P5. Then we've got Manali guys, JJ in 11th, Apex in 12th. Then we've got Ditto. We got Jetlin, Nota Bene, and Onofme. Okay. So hopefully we'll get a chance to look at I'm gonna actually I'm requesting an extra minute just so that Twitch can yeah, so that Twitch can watch the whole start, because I don't want to rob people from the start. The start is going to be interesting, and you can watch it on YouTube afterwards. Of course, it will be there. We're not going to hide it, but it's so much more interesting if you see it live. If you see it all happen, and you can really follow it in real time. Are we going to get the start as interesting as today's actual start in real life Formula 1? I highly doubt it. That was crazy. And these cars are not random number generators in terms of how much pace they have for the viewer's eye. But yeah. Okay. That is still running and the drivers are waiting. They have a little bit more time. Looking forward to the race. So am I. It should be so interesting after what we have seen so far this season, where Dikra looked invulnerable, honestly, until the last lap of the previous race. And you have to assume that he's still invulnerable. That he's still somehow going to find a way to win this race, even if he has no business winning a race. Apparently, he always ends up on top. So, are we going to see that again today, starting from 4th? That is not ideal. Especially on this version of this track, I don't think it's going to help him in any way. Yeah. So, I'm going to give the signal to start. Okay, 10 seconds on the ad break progress. I'm good to go. So I can load in and the ads will be over in just a moment. All right, welcome back after that ad break. Apologies that I forgot to do that earlier in the stream and then we had issues, but I got to delay the start and I'm very happy about myself. Well, what does the start look like anyway? We have Domschka, P1. He is in the lead for this race. He's been so strong qualifying. He does it again. Behind him, Randers. Behind him, Marcus, previous race winner, of course. And Dikra, championship leader. Normally so strong in qualifying as well. P4. That is tough. That's going to be tough for him. Michael in P5. Very, very good job from him. And then Dustin and Gerald, 6th and 7th. And we have Sorrow, Silver, Gomestos, and JJ, Apex. Last in the points so far. Finally, we have Ditto in P13, Jetl in P14, Notabene in P15, and Unofmi didn't qualify, starts from the back of the grid. So, quickly, how does it look anyway from Unofmi's view? Well, that's kind of what you see. The nice thing is, of course, that if you look, I don't know what the button is for looking behind. I don't know if there is one. But yeah, there's nothing behind him. That's the nice thing. You can chill a little bit, relax a little bit, and normally in real racing that's not what you want to do, because you're surrounded by professionals. They know exactly what to do, right? If you make a mistake, they will pounce. Here, these drivers are no idiots. You've seen the previous races. They are very, very good, but they will slow down a little bit more. There will be a little bit more caution, and that allows you to... I'll take the caution earlier, and you will have a much better opportunity to maybe overtake later on in the lap. So not the turn 1, not a turn 2, but maybe turn 3 exit, turn 4 entry. Those are possibilities. You can hear the light, you can't see shit. But here we go. Good start from the top 4. They're all equal, essentially. And then Michael is a little bit very close behind. Marcus loses position to Dikra. Dikra immediately overtaking, going into P3. Randers very close to Domschka. Domschka did get a very good getaway and retains the lead of the race. Michael retains his position, backing up the Benettons. Sorrow has also mixed himself in. So there's now Michael from Dustin, from Sorrow, from Gerald. Silver is a little bit behind that. Now in the lead of the race, Domschka, he is facing a very immediate challenge from Randers, who has a much better exit out of this corner, and I don't think you can compensate that in any way, Domschka. You can stay on the inside, it's the best you can do here, but he's kind of going to let him go. I don't know if that was on purpose, and that's a weird way to do it on purpose, but it also cost him a lot of time. Look at that, Dikra already very close behind, and Marcus in P4, he's actually losing a lot of time. Is there a strategy difference here? Are these people on softs? Did Marcus realize actually that's a trap, don't do it? Or the other way around, maybe Marcus messed up. It's possible. Top 4 very close by each other. The best part is they're all very distinct colors. Makes it very easy to follow who is who. Domschka in the middle, Randers ahead, and Dikra chasing for another win. was a very good move in that last lap. Good overtake. But holding on to it, I don't think that's going to be so simple. It would be even worse if it was the modern version. Even on the old version, though. Every opportunity to overtake. No, I don't want to move away, but notably Michael is still 5th, followed by Dustin, then Sorrow, then Geralt, exactly as it was, and Domskat moves on the inside, instead of the hairpin. Wide line by Randus. Is he trying something? Trying to go back onto the chicane? I would say that's maybe experimental, in the sense that he's trying it now, to see if it is viable later on the race. Look on the inside, it's not possible to overtake. Domskat retains the lead. Oh, and a mistake from Randus. Decrush be closing up then. There's not a loss that he wants to take. Marcus is losing a lot of time hand over fist. Only 3 seconds behind the leader of the race. You can see the gap is pretty big. Top 3 though look very close to each other. And again, if they fight, that can cost them. Sorrow and Ditto are both in the pits. Ooh, and that's pretty painful. Don't know what happened there. Might have been a bit of a collision, bit of a crash. But they do keep going. Sorrow is also already driving out. Very good to see. Now, these have calmed down a little bit. We'll look at Silver then. Very close behind Michael, who has now lost position to Dustin and Geralt. Benetton team in P5 and P6, where I guess they belong. They always end up there. But they are not pretty far away from each other. Dustin has run away with a little bit. Geralt's gonna try and catch up. As Silver is fighting with Gomestos, who has made an overtake. Good start from Silver so far. JJ still in 10th place, also doing a very good job. Notabene 11th and Jetlin in 12th. Very good job from those as well. Especially Notabene, he started behind Jetlin, is now ahead. 2 points for Notabene as it stands. Further up ahead, you can still see these gaps are pretty small. Just following each other in slipstream. It is probably the right thing to do. Marcus is not holding on. Marcus simply does not have the pace. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be his race to win today. So we'll have to look at the top 3 as it stands. See what they can do. Although I do think there is still a wrinkle. There are 40 laps today, which may have been shown incorrectly in the graphics as well. I do recall they had a change. But with 40 laps to go, it's a long race. Lots of things can happen. Following very much in each other's wheel tracks. But it's not really a fight. So let's move further back. Geralt is now catching up to his teammate Dustin. I don't know if these are going to fight. Sometimes they decide not to. I do see, it's a very close fight behind Apex and Jetlin. Apex trying to get back into the points and Jetlin, well, trying to hold on. You can see Apex is definitely pushing a little bit harder. On the limit here and there a lot more. Jetlin a lot safer. And we see Silver making overtake. Notabene on the inside of that chicane. A very nice move there. Oh, but he goes a little bit deep. Notabene doesn't quite spot it. Hits the back a little bit. That is still a legitimate overtake from Silver. Make no mistake. P10. Jetlin still holding on. do feel the itch to look at the leaders yet. Randers is very close behind Domska. We'll quickly see how these two enter the last chicane. Well, back to back. Okay. These are very close together then. There's not really any moves being made. That's pretty important, I think, for both their races. Randers doesn't want to make a move and lose time. Domska doesn't want a move to be made on him and lose time. So in that sense, the goals are very much aligned. I do see these two. They are close in the championship, but they are close in this race. Domestos is on a tear. He's moving forwards. He beat Silver. Well, got ahead of Silver, who's now behind JJ. Unfortunately, I think he lost a bit more time through a mistake. Michael is next on the chopping block for Domestos, who seems to be having very strong race pace today. On board with him, trying to get a good exit. Also note that these three are very close together again. But I think this is essentially a non-aggression pact these three have. Oh, you see, Michael is fighting. Very close behind Dustin, who has been passed by Geralt. Geralt trying to run away, trying to secure that 5th place. Maybe move towards Marcus. Michael trying to maybe fight back. It's also kind of a defensive fight back. Domestos might see that and think, you know what, I don't want to be involved, and stay back a little bit. I think that's exactly what happened. As a result, Michael still P7. I wonder if Gomez just hoping for a crash. Kind of something should just sit behind people like, just you know, make it easy for me. I don't want to deal with this. But yeah, I don't think he's gonna have an easy time. Michael's a very clean driver, so is Dustin. But what I recall, Gomez isn't a menace himself either. Michael on the inside then for the hairpin. Oh, as I say that, Goestos is a bit of a menace, a little bit of a touch. It's okay, I think he backs off early enough that Dustin probably doesn't have damage. Goestos might have damage. He definitely has time-based damage. But may have robbed Dustin from an opportunity to fight back. Minor incident. We can keep going without any issues. Cool. Still ahead of Dustin. Dustin really doesn't seem too fighty today. Doesn't really seem to have a lot of fighting. And who does have fight in him? It's Randers. Randers on the outside of Domska through the hairpin. And Dika is right there trying to benefit from this situation. Randers doesn't make it stick. Had to take the outside for the hairpin. It's just not faster. But he does have very good speed here. Side by side here. Yeah, he's not going to do that. Dekra is also not going to do that. They are back to back again on the inside then. Randers is not going to do it. Dekra is also wisely just letting it happen ahead of him. We're only on lap 8 out of 14. The only lap that really matters is lap 40 out of 40. Keep going as they are. But there is a sign of this non-aggression pact being broken. And Michael is actually caught up to Geralt. Okay. Dustin now defending against Domestos. Gomestos. Completely messed up his name. I apologize. Dustin on the defense here. You can see ahead. His teammates also on the defense. It's a tough one for Benetton. They could lose a lot of points in one lap if both of these overtakes succeed at the same time. So far, they're still where they are. Still where they have been. Randers looking on the outside. Well, will be this chicane. Is he gonna make that move? No, he's not. These people have been through that chicane so often in their racing careers, and they know you don't just force a move there. That is asking for problems, but you can force a move here. Turn 2? Nah. But that does make it a problem, because now Decra is side by side for turn 3. Does he get a good exit? He does not. And it is exactly as it was, as it has been, and as it always will be, it seems. A green car, followed by a blue car, followed by the red Ferrari of Decra. Championship leader, standing to lose some points here. With respect to Domska, with respect to Randers, but not with respect to Marcus, who's 6 seconds behind. What if Marcus is on a stop less, right? We have to consider that. He loses about 5 seconds per 10 laps on average, but it might only be the first stint. If that is the case, if he straight up skips a stop, I think Marcus is very much okay. If he's gonna keep losing that much time throughout the whole race, then it becomes a problem. And that is something that we should watch. I feel like he's okay. Provided he's on a stop list, then he might still be in the race. We'll have to see. Oh, that's a big mistake. Or is that a touch? Domska seems to have been pushed to the side. Almost in the wall of champions. He survives it. But that puts Randers in the lead of the race. Decra in second place. Little controversy here. It was very quick. Very hard to see exactly what happened. Was the contact? Was there not? I think there was. So there might be something the stewards will look at. Well, in the Benetton struggles, Michael still very close behind Geralt. Gomez still very close behind Dustin. You see a couple of people pitting. Silver is in the pits. Notabene is in the pits. There's an indication that some people will be, maybe, on a 3-stop. That's a big question mark. Because that's honestly something I was really expecting from this track. It's only not that hard on the tires because, well, most of it is straight, and the parts that aren't straight are fairly slow for the most part. The tires, you would think, don't get stressed out too much, but it turns out they do a little bit. Maybe for these cars, and maybe the softs are just that squishy, so. First regular stops have already happened. And we do see a retirement. I was gonna call it as being sorry, but it's not. It's not Ditto either. It's a bene. It's not in the top 4, okay. Good thing to check. I think, yeah, unfortunately, we've lost Apex, who is not with us anymore. And Gomezos is in the pits. This is interesting. Gomezos being in the pits, he's letting Dustin go. But Dustin knows he hasn't been let go. He's being attacked actively. Now, of course, we are not in undercut land here. We are technically in overcut land because the fuel can be, well, re-added. You can refuel in this version of Formula 1. That means the cars do get heavier after a stop, and as a result, you're not faster because of your fresh tires. You're actually slower because of your fresh fuel. But it's a gamble for Gomezos. If he thinks he has pace in hand, he can still be faster. If he thinks Dustin is slowing him down, it's a decent gamble. He gets ahead of Jetlin, so he's not slowed down by that. And Dustin, I assume, will react in just a moment, unless he's on a different strategy, which I think is possible. Is trying to chase down Randers. Domska is losing time a little bit. To put 6 seconds behind now. Are his tires starting to show wear? It could be that they are on softs and they're trying for a 2-stop, trying to extend the softs a little bit past the lifespan that they normally would go for. Now this is really good for one man named Marcus, who as a result has not been losing nearly as much time in the last few laps. He lost half a second per lap at the start, and now he's lost half a second in 3 laps. That's 3 times as good as it was. So if Marcus has to do 1 less stop, Marcus might be chilling. Marcus might be in for a win. That's absolutely not certain. We'll see. What we do see is, well, decent gaps in the front. Gerald's still defending from Michael, but the gap has also grown. And Dikra and Domska go into the pits. Dikra and Domska, both of them. Where will they end up, though? That will be interesting to see. Dikra, of course, comes out first. Domska fairly close behind. Is he going to come out, though? Just ahead of Dustin. But Domska, disaster, comes out behind Dustin. And Dustin is allowed to defend. I don't know if he will, but he's allowed to. I highly doubt he will, but he is allowed to. But Domska is going to lose time hand over fist. And that is going to give Marcus an opportunity. But also Randers an opportunity to extend. Randers running the overcut right now. He is going to be faster this lap, likely. Provided his tires are still in a fairly normal operating window. If they are worn too much, it is undercut territory. What's he gonna do? Exactly, drive straight into the pits. And now we're gonna see where he gonna end up. Marcus is gonna drive past. No, he's not driving past. He is stopping. And that might be a race over for Marcus. If he was doing a stop list, I don't think he would be stopping now. Gerald is stopping as well. Michael is stopping as well. Okay, everybody's coming in. And Dikra, is he gonna take the lead of the race? Well, unfortunately, I think Randers is already driving out. Dikra is only here. I think Dikra has lost quite a bit of time. Yeah, there you see Randers ahead of him. And that's a couple of seconds of a gap. May have lost a whole second there through the pit stops. Randers remains in the lead with a very good shot of winning the race outright. Domska's also... Oh, that's Dustin made a mistake. Okay, but he's okay. No crisis. No crash. We're good. Marcus in P5. Behind Dustin, who hasn't stopped yet. And I suspect Dustin might try for a stopless. It does have to be a full stopless. If you're just trying for different tires, we don't actually stopless, then often you kind of end up slower. What else do we have up and down the grid? Well, not been actually surprisingly close behind Sorrow. Sure, a bit of a rotten start, but he's fought his way back. He's P10. But I do think he is expecting to stop again. P10 for now, though. Decent fight back so far. Much more to come. Michael close behind Gerald. What's changed? Well, nothing. Marcus... Well, he's behind Dustin because Dustin hasn't stopped yet. Gomestos, I think interestingly, Dustin didn't come back here. Dustin is still out there. Gomestos has a chance to essentially overtake Dustin, but Dustin decided not to defend. Is it gonna bite him in the end? Or is he actually okay? Is his pace good enough? Is he gonna save a stop? Saving a stop I don't think would be enough to overtake anyone currently ahead of him. Anyone behind him is a you know, possible to be defeated. Sorrow is in the pits again. And we are looking at On of Me looking to overtake. Sorrow is moving again, but On of Me simply has better speed, is going to end up ahead. And Sorrow is out of the pits. Still driving. Despite what happened at the start, we don't know exactly what happened. You know he fell back all the way to the back. A long pit stop. Dustin is finally in the pits. I do think we might be looking at a little stop less for Dustin, but I don't think he drove as long as he wanted to, if that's the case. Lap 16 out of 40 is an awkward one, because you're kind of still forced into a 2-stop, even if you want to do a 1-stop. Because now if you don't want to do a 1-stop, it's a long stint. It could be that he went hard, soft, soft. I could see that being the case. Dikra defending against Domska, which is a little bit of a distraction because Randers is ahead. 3 seconds is the gap. And I don't think either of them want to see that. They want to see that gap shrink. Now, does Dikra have the pace is the question? Well, I'm not so sure. Randers seems to be lightning quick today. I quickly want to have a check of the timings. We're looking at Randers. His best lap is very strong. His last few laps also very, very strong. Lightning quick that boy is. Domska looking for an attack then on Dikra. Might feel like he's being slowed down. And arguably he is. An Apex car from JJ, I believe. Sorry, not Apex. Apex is his teammate. A Minardi car from JJ. Will have the blue flags. Will have to let Dikra and Domska go at some point, and he does it right here. No move possible for a little while. Chase is following very, very close behind. I think he's aching for an overtake. Who else is following close behind? Well, Silver's very close behind Notabene. Notabene is having a surprisingly good race, actually, just like Jetlin. Doing a very good job. And we do see... Oh, there's something going on here. Domska is behind. But look, oh, he's getting closer, but he... Look, you can hear those releases. He is not actually fighting, he's just putting pressure on. He's trying to force a mistake. That's what's going on here. Can't fool me. Lap 19 out of 40. We're not even halfway. Already trying to trick each other into mistakes. Meanwhile, Randers 3.3 seconds ahead. He's not gaining much, but he is gaining. And you know what the best part about gaining is? That you're not losing. He doesn't actually have to gain, he just needs to not lose. So he's doing a very good job there, Anders. These two might be shooting themselves in the foot. Well, Domska doesn't want any of it. Dikra does go defensive. He does position his car suboptimally for race time. Just to stay ahead, because if Domska goes past, which he might, around the outside of the hairpin, it's not an easy one to do. If you're going to go to exit, it's possible. They are still side by side. If Domska gets ahead, he might run away. That's not something Dikra wants. Domska actually just lets it go. Oh, but it's a mistake from Dikra. That might be the difference maker. On the inside, then Domska goes very nicely on the inside. The camera there is terrible, but he's on the inside. Dikra has to let go. He's still very close behind. He doesn't actually want to let this go. Meanwhile, Randers is winning half a second through this fight alone. Side by side through turn 2, through turn 3. On the outside is Dikra. He will have better traction, better exit. But Domska's exit is more than good enough. He stays ahead. Domska overtakes Dikra successfully. Oh, Dikra immediately makes a mistake. Oh, that's big time loss. That is huge time loss, and definitely aside for sore eyes for Domska. They're fighting so hard for that, and now his problem is gone. He can look forwards. Randers is his next target. Oh, he also makes a mistake though. He goes through the grass. That's time loss for him as well. Randers has gained 2 seconds in, what, a span of 2 laps? 1.5 lap? Maybe 1 lap. It's like halfway through a lap until the other halfway through, you know. Yeah, Marcus is closing in a little bit. He's probably wondering what the hell is happening. Have they crashed? Well, they strictly speaking, they haven't crashed into each other in any way. But might as well have, to be honest. Dekra still has some fight in him. Still sees Domska on the horizon. It's like a red cloth being hung in front of a bull. Despite the fact that he is the red car. That is how it is. Gomestos, I will say, after pit stops, after Dustin stopped, he is ahead of Dustin now. 3 seconds is the gap. Gomestos doing a very solid job today. Michael also, P6 for him is very, very strong. Gerald does seem to have a better of them. We do see, I think, is that one of me? Ooh, he's lost his rear wing. Aye, that is tough. And that's tough to control. Once you lose the rear wing, you have no grip on the rear tires. Yeah, you just start spinning out of control entirely. Jetlin is in the pits for his second stop on what is so far a very strong race from him. P11 after the stop. That's very good. That is very good. Honestly, no notes. Very good job. Spin is still in P10. We'll also be happy with that. JJ just outside of the points, but the gap is pretty big to Sorrow. So, not much there, I'm afraid. Closest fight we have. Oh, hello. Domestos, you're already in the pits again. Is he going for a 3-stop? Is he going soft, 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 soft until the cows come home? That might be what he's doing. Silver is too far back to benefit. And Dustin, I think, does have a strategical advantage here, because I don't think this is faster for Domestos, unfortunately. One of me in the pits, of course, to repair damage. If he does keep driving, as tough as it is. Spinner also in the pits. That actually puts Jetlin back in P10. That is very good points for Jetlin, if he can keep that. Currently, I will remind you, Jetlin is on no points. Gonna be first points today. Will be very exciting. If he makes it. Close fight for sure is... Oh, I like this game, but the camera angles sometimes... Goodness. Well. McLean P6. Gerald is ahead. Is he catching? Well, let me check the timings. Michael did a 120.1, 120.6 for Gerald. Fortunately, he's not catching. He is in a very strong P6 and kind of solidifying it, so doing a very, very good job here. One of me is still driving, he's out of the pits again, and he has a rear wing. Very good news. I'm gonna take a moment to take a sip of water, because I should not dry up. That is a very bad idea. Alright then. still trying to fight for it, but Domska is just too far away. But even worse for Domska, Randers is also just too far away. Randers does not seem to be in range for anyone. Completely unbeatable as it stands. But we're only on lap 24 out of 40. Anything can happen. It's very much a race of consistency though. And that race of consistency, I think, is the one that Michael is winning from Gerald, slowly but surely. He is inching towards Gerald. But I don't know quite why, so it makes it hard to analyze exactly how that is gonna go. Regardless, this is the closest fight, unfortunately, that we have. Although I will note that Sorrow is currently behind Jetlin, and if I were to assume the timings, Sorrow's time is 122.0, 122.9 for Jetlin. He is catching. So, let's give these people a little moment in the sun. They very much also deserve. Honestly, showing up to these races, actually doing them, it's already quite impressive. And finishing a race is like the next milestone. Getting a point, you know, is a big one as well, and that seems to be one that Jetlin is securing today. Currently in the slipstream of another driver, but I don't think that's the one he is fighting. I don't think that's Silver. No, that's not Silver. I think that's his teammate. That's the thing. Sorrow and Jetlin will have to deal with blue flags. That is indeed Randers, and Domska is coming up to them. Quick look over the scoreboard. We still have, honestly, status quo everywhere. Michael still behind Gerald. You do see some mistakes creeping in. It does seem to be very much a bit of a tire wear kind of race. A lot of people are starting to struggle. Silver into the pits, potentially for his last stop. That will be very long stint to the end. That said, I think Jetlin also stops, right? Which, well, where is he, by the way? Is he gonna overtake? Well, Silver is just coming out. Jetlin will have better speed. I think Jetlin's just gonna be ahead. And there we go. No nonsense. Silver straight up behind. Sorrow into the pits as well. And nota bene, well, where is he actually? Is that the chicane? I don't think he's gonna be ahead. Sorrow already moving. Actually, hello. Sorrow is not out yet. That is not a bit ahead of Sorrow, and Sorrow will have to fight back a little more. And I'm not sure if that's a wave of stops that are intended to go to the end. So that would be... I don't know if that's the right call. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. A bit of tire saving. You're probably gonna make it, but it could be unpleasant. If you lock up once, your entire strategy is essentially down the toilet. Gomez in the pits again? I feel like Gomez is taking too many stops. I feel like that's what's going on. Randers is now in the pits though, and I think that is definitely until the end. It's 14 laps. That should be doable on hard for sure. Oh, Dekra, I think, has also stopped. Okay, I thought we lost him. I think he has just stopped. And Domska, that is why Domska is actually in the pits. He's reacting to Dekra, who is currently at the chicane. That does probably mean that Domska stays ahead. Well, for sure. Dekra is just too far behind. That was 3 seconds before the stops. Probably around 3 to 2 seconds now. Because Domska does have a little bit of traffic to deal with, unfortunately. Is Michael ahead of him? Oh, and that could be costly. Because Michael is in his own race. He doesn't want to concede any time. Gerald has also stopped. If Michael concedes time, he's essentially conceding that fight. And he does not want to do that. I can say that with absolute certainty. Sora and Notabene are also close. And Sora is actually completely taking benefit from the leaders lapping. And a true blue flag. Sora overtakes Notabene as if it's nothing. I'm not even sure if Notabene realized in the moment what was happening. Yeah, there we go. Domska is very close behind Michael. I wonder what Michael's gonna do. Michael doesn't have to pit, right? There's no rule saying you have to. Mark is gonna stop. That will be his last stop as well. Wonder where he's gonna come out. Yeah, there we go. Michael goes into the pits. Domska, oh, he's caught out a little bit by it. Oh, he was driving on the car ahead. Don't do that. Classic mistake, especially in Canada. What happens is when you have a driver ahead, you can't help but look because he's ahead of you and you have to look ahead. So you see him and you're kind of like, okay, where's this man gonna brake? I'm gonna brake there. Automatically, your brain does that. If he doesn't brake though, because he's going straight into the pits, then you have to, well, you always have to do it on your own location, your own braking point. But it's very possible that you miss that. You realize a little too late. It's like, oh, I've missed the braking point. Oops. That's what happened there. Lost Domska a little bit of time. Honestly, not that big of a crisis, but it's super interesting that happened. Gerald's speed is behind, ahead of Michael, but look at that gap. That gap was over a second earlier. Now it is not. Michael not with the best exit here, but I don't have Slipstream to completely compensate for whatever happened there. And Slipstream is quite strong on these cars. Michael will have every opportunity to overtake later on the race. For now, he gets to enjoy that Slipstream and just stay close. Just stay close. That's all he needs to do. Gomesto's very close to silver as well. I do say stay close, but of course Michael wants to be ahead and pull away. I'm not sure that's fully possible, but he could try. Goes behind, choosing to stay consistent and safe. P6 it remains, which is already a good position, but P5 is right there. Let's let silver go a little bit. The gap has slightly grown. Oh, there's a mistake. So easily done, especially that chicane. But you see it everywhere. People are just trying to brake as late as possible, of course. Optimize lap time. That's your job. But so easy to make a mistake. He locks up now. His tires aren't up to grip. I feel like Gomestos has a tire saving issue, and that's why he's been in the pits so often. Locks up, tires are gone. Box. Repeat. So I might stop again. I wonder how many stops he will have done by the end of the race. Oh, he makes a big mistake there. He's on the wall. Okay, that's what I wanted to know. As I do see Michael, oh, he's looking with his head, not with his car. Slipstream's going to help him, but it's not going to give him an opportunity for this corner. Strong exit. He gets a decent exit. He will get that Slipstream. Stay close, but overtaking is simply not on the table right now. Quickly look at the rest of the grid then, because Randers, we've seen him quite a lot in early stages. That is not his opponent, that is Gomestos, who he's just lapped. Happens to be the teammate of Domska, who's in second place, of course. But Randers, very strong start of the race. Very strong continuation right now. Doing a very good job. And looks to be winning this race. Not that much of a contest. Domska, going in P2. will be fairly happy with a P2 maybe. Dekra is in trouble. His championship, well, looked so secure just 2 races ago. Oh, really? Like, for most of last race. It looked like I was already, like, crowning him the winner of that race, and it all went wrong. After which people have caught up. After this race, people are continuing to catch up. Randers will get closer. Domska will get closer. Marcus, unfortunately, will lose a couple of points, but not as many as it would have been if Nico had simply won the race. Albin is in the pits. It seems to be a fairly long hold, but his opposition is too far back. Gonna maintain P12 for sure. Sorry, in P11 is not where he wanted to be, but it is where he is. Jetland in P10. Cutting the corner. A little lawnmower action here, but I guess to keep going. Michael and Geralt are so close. Actually, Michael's looking for a move here. It's not happening though. Here is where he really would want to do, is on the inside of the hairpin. But that's a tough one. He's got the slipstream, he's got speed. But he knows you can't send it from that far. That would be crazy. Would ever do such a thing? Well, there's plenty of people that have tried. There's plenty of consequences that have come out of those attempts. These people are aware. They've been involved in some of those consequences and attempts. They know better. Decent exit from Michael. Carol, ooh, mistake from Michael there. Slightly low on, late on the brakes. Really put him into the grass, but he's all right. Slightly further forward on the track. Marcus, he is getting a little by little closer to Dekra. Something to look at on the timing sheet for now. So we have a real fight to look at. It is only lap 33. I say only lap 33. We are getting to the end. And it has not been the most interesting race, admittedly. But we are slowly getting to what will be, well, what decides everything, the last lap. Especially for these two, when they are so close together. One mistake can cost you points. I do think we'll have a very happy Michael in the interviews later, if he decides to come along. Oh, wrong mouse button straight up. Not falling asleep. I hope you're not falling asleep either. Marcus is, I think, slightly losing touch to Dekra. Dekra doing a solid job holding on to that P3, but any better is unfortunately out of touch. Domska's too far ahead. Domska is too fast. And Randers is, well, Randers is like, you don't even think about him. He's none of your concern. I do notice Domska is catching up little by little to Randers. I don't think he's fast enough, but I do notice that time generally is hovering downwards a little bit. If we look at the timings, yeah, he is going very fast now, Domska. Does he have the fastest lap? No, he does not. But it's not far off. Michael then, outside of the chicane. You never try this because it doesn't work. But he does try to set up Geralt for failure. Geralt with a compromised line, but Michael doesn't really get the exit he wants to. Does match speed already with the slipstream. He will be fast on the inside of turn 2 then. And there he goes, side by side, through here. Outside for this corner. Not really, because he's already passed. Michael has overtaken Geralt Smith. And it is P5 for this man who we thought, well, I thought personally, I was wrong, apparently. Didn't quite have the pace to mix with Dustin and Gerald. But here he is, P5. On what? Pace. Nothing but pace. I do think it was a slight mistake maybe, but Gerald is very, very close again. This race is not over yet, but I think it will be very encouraging for Michael already to be fighting with Gerald. And now it's Gerald's turn to figure out, look, how do we actually overtake on this track though? If somebody's so close to you in pace. You've got the slipstream, it is a tool you can use. But also has to be noted, you only have like 5 laps to figure it out. Like, how do I actually overtake? And the way Michael did it is a very complicated multi-step process. This might not be a complicated multi-step process. You just wait for the driver ahead to make a small mistake. You go on the inside for turn 2, and you copy the move. And he's ahead. Gerald is ahead. Michael made a small mistake, exiting the last chicane. The grass in front of the water champions was kissed a little bit longer than you would want to. Normally it's like a microsecond. He lost time, he lost speed. And Gerald is ahead. Such an interesting turn of events so far. Not an interesting race, but I'm not gonna lie. The race has been a little bit. Oh, hang on. We suddenly have 3 drivers split in 2 seconds. Hang on. Ignore everything I said. This race might come alive. Sorrow very close behind Jetlin, who I would have sworn would not be in P10 by now. Oh, and I've cursed him. Oh, I've cursed him. I was about to say something positive about him. Now, Jetlin will have to suffer sorrow, but he's still on the inside, so he has a chance to defend. Doesn't really do it, though. Kind of lets it go. He realizes, I don't quite have the confidence to pace. Sorrow goes up to P10. Jetlin with a mistake, and you do see these mistakes regularly. They do happen. And there have been so many mistakes in this race. Every time we switch cameras, it's been a different person, but they have gone on the grass. They've missed the braking point. We've seen a couple of lockups. We've seen wheel spin. We've seen, I think, everything you could possibly see without actually seeing a crash. Because the safety car hasn't come out, and there's been no reason to come out. Dustin has just stopped again, and I think he's just fitted some softs, going for the fastest lap point, I am pretty sure. The time he has to beat, 119.1, I think it's very possible for him. He's got a bit of gap behind him, so he can switch for tires again if he wants to, but at that point it becomes a bit risky, to be honest. If you miss your pit box for too long, then it becomes suffering. Jetlin is still close to Sorrow, and I think that's very encouraging for Jetlin as well. Of course, he is only a reserve driver, right? He's not full-time in the season. So doing a very solid job in this position. Goldschmidt has been overtaken by Michael again, apparently. They've switched positions. Michael in 5th place. I will also note, this is very good news for the Red Bull team. I think as a team, they're scoring less than Williams, but more than any other team, I think. Although it's possible that the 40 team with Domska and Gomestos is scoring more. Maybe the same. Hard to tell. They are definitely closing in on Ferrari, because what's his name? Cavalo is unfortunately not here today. So, no points to be gained there. Say Jetlin's reserve driver, he shouldn't be. No, it's just that I don't know why I said reserve driver. Oh, I know why. I might have an old version of the liveries because the wrong name was on the livery. He is, of course, a permanent driver, just in the, driving in the car that was previously occupied by someone else. Just make a mistake again, though, there. And you see it often. That is such a common place to make mistakes. Michael's still ahead. Gerald's very close. Because that does seem to be the favorite overtaking opportunity for, well, both drivers, really. Turn 2, turn 3 has served them very well, and honestly, nothing else. Everything else has been an accident. Okay, so we are reaching the end of the race. Randus is going through the hairpin, second to last time. He's been so strong today. It's looking like a comfortable race win that I am sure he didn't dream of. Strategically, he has just outdone everyone. And he's gonna get full points to celebrate his performance with. Geralt is still fighting Michael. He wants to get back ahead. And interestingly, Jetlin, well, he has lost pace a little bit. But Gomestos and Sorrow, now this is something that I would want to watch, honestly. Sorrow on the inside of this hairpin. Oh, that's, you can't really do that. Oh, I think that's gonna end up on the steward's desk. It's very good of Gomestos not to turn that into an accident. Jetlin does benefit from it. Gomestos deciding, you know what, actually I'll take the 10th or 11th over Wall, so... It's a bit of a risky move there. That's how it is. On the last lap also, Geralt and Michael. Geralt stays behind. Oh, and that was gonna be his opportunity though. He's gonna have to force something else, and that's gonna be tricky. It does seem like Sorrow, Jetlin, and Gomestos also fought. Do you want to check? A bit is behind them. Okay. Geralt Smith seems to be bested by Michael today. There are truthfully no opportunities left if you cannot make that opportunity. As Randus, of course, as your race winner, a little asleep at the wheel, as you can understand, hopefully. But yeah, Randus wins the race, uncontested. Very strong performance from him. Very good job. Domska will finish in second, and Dikra will finish in third. Marcus fourth. But who is gonna be fifth? Is it gonna be Geralt? Geralt, ooh, on the outside. Oh, there's collision. There's contact. Michael and Geralt had a collision. But I think you have to concede that that's definitely Geralt's fault. He's the only one to really suffer from that. So it's gonna be Michael in P5, Geralt in P6. Very good job from Michael there to secure that. And move around the outside. Always gonna be ambitious. It didn't work. And, well, yeah, that's kind of what we expected. The fastest lap, did Dustin beat it? Yeah, he did. Well done. Good job. Gap is pretty small, but he did do it. There's a bonus point for Dustin. There's also a time penalty for Nota Bene. So let's quickly check where he actually ends up. Though I think it's still 12th place. Yes, so Randus in P1, Domska in P2, and Dikra in P3. Randus is your third race winner of this season. Very nice job from him. We're very happy with that. I'm going to quickly process the results so we can... Ooh, didn't mean to do that. They are accurate. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the button I meant to press. Okay, so quickly double checking. Save the replay. Dikra, Marcus, Michael, Geralt, Dustin, Silver Sorrow, Shetland against ahead of Gomestos, then Nota Bene, Spice Penalty, and then JJ, one of me, and Ditto. Okay. I'm going to submit those results to my system. It will cry for a little bit. I've optimized this. I didn't optimize this. That's a lie. But it has done its job, and we will quickly move over to our post-race screen. Very nice green background. Little grass. I don't know. Imagine whatever you like. But the race results, what we were looking at, well, what we saw a moment ago. Randus, of course, won that race. 25 points for him. Domska gets 20, and Dikra 16 for third place. Marcus loses 4 points to the leader. He is in fourth place with 12 points. We've got Michael, P5, 10 whole points behind his name. Shooting up from, what was 13 points. So very good job from him today to nearly double his point total. We got Gerald, we got Dustin, we got Silver. Dustin, of course, gets a bonus point, so that's 7 points for him instead of 6. We got Silver with 5, 4 for Sorrow, 3 for Jetlin. We'll be very happy with that. His first points this season. Then Gomestos has 2 points. We're a bit frustrated, I'm sure. And then we have Nota Bene, 1 point for him. Nothing to sneeze at. I think he will be quite happy with that. Then after that, we had JJ, Onofre, and Ditto. They did not score any points, but they did finish the race. Credit to them. And Apex, unfortunately, could not finish the race. Then we go to the standings. Dikra is still your leader. I need to upscale the screen for me because it's the only way I can see that it's a stream preview. Okay, 48 points for Dikra, who is leader in the championship still, but that gap has shrunk. Randus in P2, a third person to be third or second in this championship. Randus 73 points, 11 points behind. That gap is not safe. If Randus keeps winning, he will be ahead of Dikra. Dikra is by no means champion yet. The gap is there, but it's not what do you say? Yeah, it's not something Randus cannot overcome. Same for Domska, 70 points. I got Marcus, 62 points, losing touch a little bit, but still in P4. Then we have Geralt in P5, Dustin in P6, and then after that, Michael caught up a lot to the Benetton team. 23 points for him. Gomesto, Silver, and Cavalo so close to each other in points. Gomesto still ahead. Silver, of course, I kind of glossed over this. Silver got P8. Silver has done a very good job today. That was such a quiet race with a good result. This is what Silver delivers. Super consistent, no nonsense, and if everybody else is having nonsense, he just gets points. That is 12 points for him on the championship. Very well deserved. Cavalo only 10th place with the same point total. They've got Sorrow in P11 and JJ in P12 with 5 points. Then we go to the next page. Nota Bene, Apex, Jetlin, Daniel Gilligan, and Das all have points behind their name. Single digits between 4 and 2. Definitely all to fight for them. As I say, it's what do you call that? It's fighting for the scraps in the championship with so many strong drivers that are hoarding these points. But they've already picked up some scraps. There's no reason they couldn't get more. You have a whole host of drivers that have joined a race but have not actually scored any points. And that is that for the drivers' standings, I believe. Team standings. Ferrari is still ahead. Williams' team is now second with 85 points. And the Red Bull team is third. That's with Michael and Marcus with 85 points. 40 Grand Prix in fourth with 83. The team championship is very much heating up. They're very close behind each other. They've got the Benetton Renault team, 5th place, 75 points. And then there is a nearly 70-point gap to the rest of the teams. We got Terrell, we got Minardi, we got McLaren, we got Lige, first points for the team, thanks to Jetlin. Everybody praise Jetlin. Very good race from him. And Jordan Peugeot in 10th place with 2 points. Lotus, only team to not score points yet. They will got more opportunities in the future, hopefully. Provided they show up. They do need to do that. So, what am I going to do? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you some interviews. As always, please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, and welcome back for the interviews. We've got a couple of drivers already waiting. Maybe more will join in a bit, but most importantly, we can start, as I normally like to do, with our race winner. Hello, Randus. Congratulations with your race win. How do you feel?
Merci. I feel great. Second race win. Really happy. Yeah, very intense in the first half, and a bit more relaxed in the second half, I think.
Yeah, did a very solid job in the first half to put yourself in that position and to be able to pull that gap in the end by strategy, but also by some events that happened. But yeah, very deserved win, very solid job. Can you quickly talk us through the details of the race, the things that we may have missed that really made that happen for you?
Yeah, I think the first stint was very intense and very close. My original plan was to stay behind Domschka in his slipstream and get a bit pulled away from Dikra, and then maybe in the second half attack him. I was thinking I had a bit more fuel, which was correct. So maybe with the overcut, I wanted to overtake him. But Domschka, I think he was struggling with his tires in the end of the stint. So I had to try to get past at some point. And when we were side by side, I think we had a misunderstanding or something in the final chicane because I braked early and he braked very early too because he thought I was going for the move, and then we were both braking very hard, very hard, very hard. Looked a bit like the ass chicken from what I saw in the replay, but without the RS existing, obviously. And then there was a slight minimum touch in my replay and a bit bigger touch in his replay. So it seemed to be a little bit of a netcode event there. And yeah, he lost control for a second, fell back to P3, and after that they were fighting, so I could gain on them. And from that moment, it was about controlling the gap. I had like 5 to 6 seconds of a gap. And yeah, I was managing tires, managing fuel, try to stay focused because if you have a gap and just yeah put laps in, it's easy to lose focus and make a mistake. So I was really trying to keep up the tension, and yeah, from that on it was about managing the gap. And unfortunately, very fortunately, that worked for me, and I could drive that victory home and celebrate my second victory.
Yeah, very well done. And of course, you say second victory for you in the series and first one in this season. Did you know that victory puts you up into second place, only 11 points behind Dikra? You're a
No, I
championship
didn't.
contender. So, yeah, what's your chances?
No, I didn't know. Thanks for calculating. Well, last week I said if I don't find anything, I will not be able to compete. But it looks like I found something with the setup, or somebody helped me to find something. Let's see if I can use that in the next races. If I can, we will see. But yeah, the other guys are really fast still, Dikra and Domschka. So it's going to be a tough one. Yeah, let's see what happens. Maybe I can compete.
Well, you're already competing. You've won a race entirely on pace as well. Small incidents, as you mentioned, but after that, very much a stronger driver. So congratulations. And before I let you go, I will do this for every driver today that's here. So pay attention and think about this ahead of time. Today was the first race, of course, of the season in real F1. I'm curious, did you watch it, 1 and 2? If you did, what are your thoughts, real quick?
I didn't watch it live. I watched the replay because I had to work. But I really enjoyed the first half. I was surprised positively from the racing that happened and from the pace of the Ferraris. Second half, it was a bit more mediocre, but still decent race. Positively surprised because I expected. Didn't have the highest expectation from his regulations, but from what I saw, quite solid.
All right, and who's going to be world champion?
Russell still. I think the Mercedes are a bit too quick, and they will have a gap before anyone else can.
All right.
They will have a gap in points before anyone else can come back.
All right. Interesting. Thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations again.
Thanks a lot. See ya.
See ya. And we'll quickly go over to the man who finished second. It will be his former team. Well, not sorry. Dikra didn't win. I just force a habit. No, Domschka, you are second place. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Um, how was that race for you? Talk us through it. It was a bit easier to point out for Randus exactly how it went for him, but for you, I think there was one big moment, and after and before that, it's a bit hazy. So yeah, let us know what happened.
In the first stint, I was struggling a bit because I don't know, I'm very error prone when I see there's someone in that 1 second window behind me. And because of that, Randers and Dikra could stay with me. So obviously, I didn't got a good gap in the first stint like I hoped for. And then we had this little moment in the chicane, in the last chicane, because, like Randa said, it was a bit of a misunderstanding. I thought he would go. I said to myself in that moment, yeah, let's not battle that hard because it's early in the race, and I didn't want to destroy our race. If when we or I didn't want that we collide and we destroy our race. So I thought, yeah, let's let him go and stay with him and get him another time. But I think like he said, he didn't want to go side by side through that chicane, so he also backed out. And then we had a little bit of a netcode issue. In his perspective, he didn't touch me as much as he did by me, in my perspective. And after that, I had to catch up again. I did close the gap to Dikra. I overtook him later in the race, but at that point, Reynolds was gone, and I only could. The only thing that I could do at this point was to secure second place. So overall, a little bit frustrating that I didn't win this race, but yeah, it's let's say I'm happier than after the Hockenheim race.
Yeah, of course, will not remind you of that. But yeah, it's unfortunate for that one incident, but otherwise, very strong race, very strong P2. Catching the lead Decra a little bit. You're currently on 70 points in third place, 14 points behind. Do you have good hopes of catching?
I don't know. Uh, Obviously, I hope that I catch him and win my second title, but this will be a tough ask. And we obviously have four very strong drivers that are in the title hunt. Diko, of course, myself, Randers, and also I would add Marcus to this list.
Mm-hmm.
And if things are falling in the right parts for those for the four of us, everyone could win a race. And of course, you could also have bad luck in a race, and then yeah, your championships hopes are basically done because there are just 8 races, and every race matters. So I think it could get very exciting later in the season.
Yeah, I hope for more good racing than the future, and definitely should be exciting. Very much in that. So yeah, curious to see how that's going to turn out. Yeah, thank you so much for giving the summary of the race and your view on the championship. And as I said, of course, I'm going to ask you about a real championship. The real F1 race just happened. What are your thoughts if you watched it?
I've watched it. I watch every race live, and I don't know. I think the regulations are a bit overhated at this moment because the first 15 laps to the VSC were very good. It was a bit like yo-yo racing, of course, and claims that this is artificial. And there are claims that it is a bit artificial. I get that, but let's say Formula One always had some things that made racing more exciting than it would be without them. In the early Pirelli era, of course, you had those tires that wouldn't last very long, where the strategies were very varied. And later, then, of course, DRS that came to Formula One. You could also claim that this is artificial. And now we have battery management that is a little bit artificial, but if it works for the rest of the season or for the rest of the regulation cycle, like the first 15 laps, then I would not mind it because the racing was very exciting, and I hope it will be like this more often later.
All right. Thank you for that very interesting summary. And who's going to be world champion?
I think George Russell and Mercedes will be the strongest package, and so I will pick them for the World Championship.
All right. Thank you very much. And congratulations on second place. Then our last podium finisher, we have him as well. I'm going to invite him to speak. It is Dikra. Hello.
Yeah, hello Vindict.
A little bit lower on the podium than we normally see you, but still congratulations. A third place is nothing to sneeze at. How do you feel about it?
Quite dejected, to be honest. Because in this race, and I think I have to mention this first. Usually Domschka and me practice together, and this time we did do that as well. And when we did, I felt that my pace was relatively good, and what I did worked compared to what he did. But after we finished, he continued practicing, and then. Yeah, then we had a discussion whether he did better times by the end or he didn't, and I told him what I was capable of doing, and he said, "Well, it's similar for me." So I thought, okay, let's just have a race. I don't really need to do anything, and then I turned up in practice and noticed that I was half a second off the pace at least. So yeah, at that point I knew there was nothing to salvage that pace gap. I could just try to stay in the slipstream and hope to make something of the race. And for the first stint, I managed that quite well. I drove pretty consistently, despite probably not having the best setup or the best tire choice. I will definitely review what I did in this race and vow to never do it again, because I chose to drive the hard tires on the rear, but that was not the way to go. I should have just tried to make the soft tires work. Anyway, I stayed close to him and Randers, and I also got past when they had their tussle at the chicane. But then Steven just managed to drive away from me. I also miscalculated the fuel. I wanted to go for 14 laps, but the game told me 14 laps were something different than they actually were. So I ended up only going for 13 laps, and that gave Steven a good overcut, so he could go out of the ability for me to slipstream him. And after I had lost him, Domschka caught up to me pretty quickly and managed to overtake me. And in trying to stay with him, I made a mistake. And after that, it was just trying to finish on the podium and to not let Marcus overtake me. All in all, a pretty frustrating race because of the lack of pace. Simple as that. But I'll hope I can bounce back. But as it looks like now, I will be missing the race in Spa. So I don't think I can win the championship anymore in any realistic way after this. So pretty frustrating, all in all.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I can't win them all, I guess. That's unfortunate. And of course, next race, not being there in Spa, would be a big hit to the championship. Yeah, let's hope that that will not. Well, let's hope you can find some time anyway, and if not, that everybody else has a bit of a shocker. That would be that would save it for you. But yeah, yeah. Otherwise, I think you talked a lot through why things happened in the race as they did. So I'll let you go on that. You've talked about championship, so I can skip that as well. Actually, let's just go straight to real F1. I'm sure you've watched the race as well, haven't you?
Yeah, of course I did. I didn't actually try to get up in time. I thought if I oversleep, I oversleep. But I somehow just woke up without anything telling me to wake up at 5 p.m. A.m. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, perfect. And what did you think?
Well, the first 15 laps, of course, were amazing. The thing is that at the end of the race, it seemed to me like people were actually struggling to overtake quite a bit. So I don't know if the first 15 laps were anything representative, or if it was just people learning how to manage these cars, how to manage their energy, and if we will see something like that again. So I'm cautiously optimistic after that first 15 laps, but there's a lot that remains to be seen. And also the pace gaps, of course, are quite shocking, but I think that people will actually be able to catch up relatively quickly, because it seems like the main thing is the deployment software, and I hope that that the teams can find a way to just copy what the others do. So they get bunched up together a little more closely. And actually, what positively surprised me also was the performance of the Ferrari compared to the Mercedes, because I thought they were going to be even further away than they were. I think they were 4 to 5 tenths slower in clear air, but that's on a track that demands power, with a Mercedes engine being as powerful as it's probably not going to be after June. So I'm hopeful that it's not gonna be total Russell domination. We're gonna have a few exciting races, especially if the starts of Ferrari stay like this, and they can maybe sort out their qualifying somewhat. So I actually expected very little and got more than I thought. And in the first 15 laps, I thought we have cracked the code. But now I'm on the fence. I'm open to these regulations, and I'm also open to cry a little bit in qualifying when I see that they can't really push as you would expect on a qualifying lap. But for the race, it isn't as bad, I think.
Very interesting. And for world champion, who do you have written down?
Well, we did our guessing game before the season, and I said Leclerc, just to be a bit contrarian to what everyone else was doing. I think it's most likely that Russell will make it, but if there are 2 or 3 retirements, I think Ferrari is close enough to provide a challenge, and I hope that will continue to be the case in the upcoming races.
All right, brilliant. Thank you so much, T-Crack. Congratulations on your third place, even if you're a bit dejected about it. Still, good points, damage limitations. And hopefully you'll find the time to join us in Spa.
Yeah, it's very unlikely. I don't think I will, but thank you.
All right. And let's move on to the 4th place finisher in Marcus. Hello, Marcus.
Hello, Findict.
Well, how was that race for you? I'm very curious to hear from you how you felt.
Yeah, this track is not my favorite. I was struggling in practice. I practiced a lot with my teammate Michael, and he was very fast. He was way closer to me than he usually is. And yeah, we couldn't make the soft tires work. That's why we both chose to drive with the hard tires, which were definitely slower, but they were way more consistent. So I knew that I couldn't fight with the top 3, but I try to take as many points as possible for the team. So I'm not looking on the driver championship, but mostly on the team championship. I want to have a good result with Michael together, and that worked out very well today. We both finished in the top 5, so yeah, I'm happy about that. Yeah.
Yes, definitely something I noticed as well. Michael had a very strong race today. As a team, you're doing very well after this one. So yeah, not for your personal championship, I guess, but for the team championship, it was very good. Let me. Yeah, I think I could ask you to talk through the race, and I think we saw it at the start when you were still second or third. You were able to fight a little bit, and then as you got fourth, the boys outpaced you very quickly, and then I think you had a very lonely race after that, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it was lonely. Because of the hard tire, I lost a lot at the beginning because they are way too cold and they need much temperature to work. So I unfortunately got out of the slipstream. This was my only hope to stay into that, to maybe make something work. I finished close to Decar, closer than I thought I would. So I was trying to hope that he does another mistake, but he didn't. So yeah, fourth is still a good result and good points for the team. So I'm happy, reasonably happy.
Yeah, very well. You almost sound happy about this than the win last week, but yeah, no, it's that was really good to to take what you can. Even if you don't have a pace, you maximize what you could. And Michael's done the same, so your team has done very well today, indeed. So for the championship, as you heard, Dekar will likely not be there next race. I personally hope he finds the time. Oh, okay. Well, that's unfortunate.
karting. I have a karting race, and I don't know if I will be home in time. So we will see.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you'll both find the time, I guess, and then you'll be fighting the championship. Let's assume that you do, right? Let's assume you find the time. Is the championship still on for you?
It depends on how good I will be compared to the other guys on the next track. So I won't have time, even if I can join, to practice much for Spa. And then let me take a look at the upcoming races. So we have Monza. Yeah, Monza I'm usually pretty good. Estoril, I don't really know this track, so we will see. It will be definitely very hot, so the hard tires will be used by everyone probably. And then Suzuka, I'm usually also very good. So yeah, maybe it would be nice to have another win. So that's my aim, to finish high in the team standings and maybe have another win.
That would be very good to see. Then, well, thank you so much for informing us about your race and your view on the championship. One more thing, as I ask everyone today, have you seen the race today in real F1?
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
I feel sorry about Piastri missing his home race to crash on the reconnaissance lap was very sad to see. And then, like everyone said, the first 15 laps were very interesting. Nobody knew what was going on. The cars have made 120 overtakes compared to 40 last year. So there was definitely a lot going on at the beginning of the race. I'm also a bit on the fence about the regulation, because if you do high electric power and then you get rid of the MGUH, I don't think that's the best choice, also having such a small battery. So yeah, I like electric power, but if you want to do it, then do it right and not just because of Audi wouldn't want to develop an MGUH, they cut it out. So yeah, but we will see. There are very smart working engineers, hardworking engineers there, and they will find a way to make it better. And maybe the FIA will change a few rules about the technical part. So it's too early to say how good or bad the regulations are.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out over time. But yeah, first race gives a little bit of hope in sense of like seeing a lot of overtakes, a lot of fights. Who's going to be world champion?
Because everybody said Russell, I say don't count out Max Verstappen, even if he really doesn't like these cars. He made a strong recovery from 20 to 6th, I think. So yeah, Red Bull seems to have a good powertrain, even though they had to develop it for the first time themselves. So yeah, we will see how the season will turn out.
Yeah, all right. Well, I've maxed the list and I've mentioned names. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. And then we'll move to his teammates, of course. Marcus finished 4th, but the big surprise, really, is Michael, who finished in 5th place. Hello and welcome.
Hello.
Congratulations for your 5th place. I'm sure that's higher than you expected today.
Yes, a little bit, but first of all, I have to apologize to Zorro. I crashed into him and he had lots of damage. I think he went straight into the pit. So I destroyed his race. This was in the first laps of the race. I was close behind Dustin, and on the back straight through the chicane, I had a lot of understeer, and I jumped over the curb, and he tried to overtake me. He was like his right front touched my left rear on the side, and I put him into the wall on the side. I had no damage, but he had a lot. I think he's very sad about this because he has no luck this year, I think. He wrote something in the chat.
Yeah, it's
that every time he has bad luck or something.
Yeah, I think honestly that's kind of accurate. It's very unfortunate. Um, yeah, it's like one race something happens and then something else happens. It's just a combination of everything combined. I know it's frustrating, especially to him. It's not even his fault anymore. It's just bad luck. So yeah, hopefully he'll have some better luck. And I do, as a spectator, as comments, I do really appreciate that you come out and apologize first thing in the interview. So yeah.
Yes, and also thank you to Gerald. We had a close battle in the first and the third stint. This was amazing fighting him. I never was able to do that. I always wanted to fight him with equal pace. And this was the first time I really had equal pace and we could fight. So that was amazing. So thanks to him. I pushed him once off the track and then we collided in the last corner.
Yeah, we saw
He
that.
tried to so that and then he spun.
Yeah, it seems fair
But I
enough.
hope
He
no,
tried to move around the
was
outside, but in that chicane, often no space,
yeah, he was
unfortunately.
nearly ahead, but I don't have a good view on my monitor, on my screen. It's very limited.
Yeah.
So I didn't see that he was that far ahead. And I was looking at him then and not on the apex, so I missed the apex a little bit and we touched. He went wide. So yes, but I had really good pace. I worked a lot with Marcus. And it's very, yes, I'm really happy to do a little bit better, have better pace to get more points for us. But on the other hand, I cannot be very happy because of what happened with Sorrow. I feel very bad for him.
Yeah,
It's
unfortunate indeed, and I feel for you. It's hard to be happy when there's also something else that happened that is definitely not
yeah,
as it should be. But yeah, take the positives away though. You did a very good job, and you have a very deserved 5th place behind your name. Your team has a lot of points. I believe I've got to double check, but I believe your team is you're 3rd in the standings, but you're tied on points with Williams, 11 points behind the Ferrari team. So very good
Yeah.
progress there. All right.
Yeah. I have to say thanks, Gerald, again. Gerald Schmid at SSR. And sorry to Sorrow. And thank you to my teammates for working with me. Get better setups and strategy. It worked out.
Yeah. Very good. Now, I asked this to everyone today. Have you seen the race today, the real F1 race?
Yes.
What is your opinion?
Yes, the start was exciting. I didn't expect the Ferraris to get away that good. I mean, we all knew they can start better, but really to take the lead, that was very cool to see. And afterwards, the fight, I thought, yes, they look very fast, but I don't know if, like they said, Mercedes had empty batteries at the start. So that was a little issue. Maybe with full batteries, there would have been no fight. But the first 15 laps, like the others say, was a little bit exciting. But it's like, it's not that natural because you have the overtake button. You have a little bit more energy, so you can overtake him. And then the other has more energy to use because of the overtake he can use and he overtakes back. So it's not a real overtake. So it was a little bit fun to watch. And yes, but it's not that great. It's a little different. I think we have to get used to it and live with it because we have these regulations for a long time now. So yes, it's different.
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, still something exciting to start to be happy about. Who's going to be world champion?
Russell.
The common pick. But,
Because
hmm?
they have now how is this called? What they have in the engine, the compression,
Mhm.
or how is it called? It's 16-1, and they think now they have 18-1 because of the trick they use. But I think, or I've experts say it's the electrical part that is so good, not the engine part, the mechanical. So I think it's all like they all say like, look, we have this, but on the other hand, they have different things in the electric part, and no one looks at that. So I think even they changed the method to measure all the things, for regulation. I think if they change this, nothing will change. Mercedes will still have the best engine because of the electrical part.
Okay.
So, no hope.
Well, let's see if it pans out. Of course, proof has to be in the pudding. So yeah. Yeah, thank you so much. Congratulations on P5, and we'll see you in 2
Thank you.
weeks.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And finally, we'll go down to the organizer, the owner of the fastest lap today, Dustin. How do you feel about the race today?
I'm feeling completely empty inside. Completely empty.
Okay, well, where do we go from here? Talk me through it. What happened today that made you feel empty?
To be honest, I'm not really sure because in practice I was the second fastest than in race. At a really great start, I had to slow down quite a bit. Otherwise, I could have been like P3 after the start because I had such a good start. Otherwise, I think already side by side to Dikra. And then, yeah, I had to take a bit of avoiding action, and I had a little tap on Michael. And then Michael overtook me again. And I quickly overtook Michael, and I was definitely faster. And in the first lap, I was actually, or at least I think I was catching Marcos. And then suddenly, I was slow. Suddenly, 3 cars overtook me. First, my teammate Gary, then Michael, and then Chris or Gomistos. And I didn't know what was happening anymore. I was just slower. Without reason, just suddenly, I don't really get it, actually. I'm trying to look into my issues for a week now. I am running MS2 on completely low settings by now. Until the race, everything was going rather well. In qualification on my first flying lap, the legs came. They were luckily not that bad as in Hockenheim as last week, but still it was very annoying, and I think my legs make me actually slower, or my PC makes me slower in MS2 than I really am. Because as you already know, Montreal is one of my best tracks, and in practice I was faster than some other drivers who were standing in front of me. And even in quali run, I was doing directly before the server opened an 18.0, and then I only did a 18.4 in qualification. And I just can't understand why this is happening. Why I'm suddenly so slow on race server, and I don't think actually it's really me. I think it's really my PC that is slowing me down. I was recharging, and it turns out maybe this issue is the same for Marcus, that my graphic card isn't compatible with VR actually, or not that compatible. It's a 3060. I don't know if Marcus is racing with the same graphic card, but this one is having issues with exactly the same things I have, or at least it's reported with those things I have, with lag, stuttering, etc. So, yeah, maybe I need to upgrade. Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess if that's the solution, then hopefully that would fix it. Yeah, technical gremlins, like it's slowing you down. It's not impossible, of course. It's a bit weird. MS2 is a bit of a weird game. Things like that happen. Yeah, unfortunate that you couldn't show your page today. Then, yeah, not a total disaster. It's still P7, but as you said, there's just more that was there that you couldn't show. So, really
Yeah,
unfortunate.
for Montreal, I said so. Okay, today is definitely going to be a podium because I'm faster on this track, and a few laps to go before the race ended. I thought, okay, I have like 30 seconds, 40 seconds to the next guy behind me, so I pitted for the fastest lap with best tires, low fuel, and I just barely got the fastest lap. So I don't think, also normally I think I would have maybe done an 18, but I done a 19-1 or 0, I don't know. But in practice server, even with that, I was definitely faster. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, let's put that behind us then. Spa's the next race. Something to look forwards to, I guess. 2 weeks. Maybe get your graphics card done already. Maybe there's another fix. Yeah, let's just hope for better, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, continue.
I wasn't saying any much else.
Okay, very good. Let's move on to Real F1 then. I'm sure you've watched the race as well.
Yeah, next race will be Spa, a track I think everyone here likes. I think everyone also likes here with committed to win race. Actually, the last ever, not the last ever, but 2 seasons ago, the last race on a historic version on Spa, I won a race. So that was my last ever race. I'm getting nightmares about this. Yeah, hearing that some drivers may not join the race can give me hope to at least achieve a podium finally. So yeah, but I can only hope currently that things for once go well for me.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, let's hope for better things than in Spa. And yeah, quickly move on to F1, Real F1. I want to ask you the question as well. You've watched the race, I'm pretty sure. What's your opinion?
Yes. I'm totally no fan of this regulation set because I think Formula One is about going flat out, and I think terms like super clipping and going slower on track to maybe gain lap time is not in the right place in Formula One. I'm not a fan about this. I think this definitely needs to be changed. And I completely agree with every word Verstappen is saying, because it's not about criticizing, it's about criticizing to get it better. Because Formula One could really lose a lot of fans this year. And yeah, I mean, other motorsport categories are really getting bigger and bigger. I mean, now we have, for example, Mick Schumacher in IndyCar. That means IndyCar is growing in Germany. We have Endurance Championship, WEC. This is growing. Now with Verstappen maybe driving for 24 hours on the Nordschleife, this is also growing. So people may turn off Formula One to watch these kind of races. And this is definitely worrying for the pinnacle of motorsports, of course, because yeah, the cars need to bring new things, new techniques, new stuff for the world to look into, for example, because not only road cars are taking the example out of batteries also, but every device on the world takes inspiration. And I think Formula One is going into one direction with this. And I personally think engines like we had 15 years ago would be fine in the cars we have now. This aerodynamic thing can be okay. Maybe with a few changes so that drivability may be a bit better, but the engines with the battery stuff, I'm definitely no fan of this.
Yeah, there's divided opinions on that for sure. And as you say, there's of course every risk of everyone losing their customers to other racing series such as the SSR Grand Prix Classics Grand Prix hosted on
That too.
twitch.tv/Findix and uploaded on YouTube channel of myself as well. So yeah, big risk there for F1, and let's hope they don't do any better. I want more views on this, and because the racing is good, providing really good shows, so that's good. And F1, well, it might be entertaining, yeah, as you say. There's problems, but time to fix it. Who's going to be world champion?
Stop.
Interesting.
I'm sure about this because he is definitely the fastest driver on the grid right now and one of the fastest drivers ever. As you may know, I'm a huge Michael Schumacher fan. I watched races of him live. I was there in Hockenheim 2006. Verstappen is almost on the same level as Schumacher for me, and Schumacher is like a god for me. So yeah, I can only see Verstappen on top this year.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, great to hear. There's not one answer. There's multiple. So I'm very interested to see the rest of the season. Just like I'm interested to see the rest of the season. Thank you so much for that, Dustin. Yeah,
Thank you.
and I think that's I think the last person in the audience is not a participating driver. Am I right?
No, actually, no. Never seen him.
Okay, then we will call it there. If you've been watching on Twitch, thank you so much. If you have been watching on YouTube, thank you so much as well. Quickly moving on to the calendar. We'll in 2 weeks we've got the Belgian Grand Prix, 22nd March, same time, same place. Don't forget to follow, subscribe to not miss anything. And yeah, I'll see you guys then.